Welcome back, artists. Today we're going to start the second step of our evergreen tree weaving project. Today we're going to be warping your loom or stringing it, and then if we have time we're going to go ahead and start the weaving process. Today you're going to get back your painted plate that we know is going to serve as our loom. At this point we should know that a loom is just something that you weave on. Today we're going to be cutting notches in this paper plate or your loom, so that way we can add our weaving strings and be able to go through that. At your table, you are going to get a tree weaving template. Whenever we use this, we're going to keep it one at a table, and you're going to have to share with everyone who is sitting with you. What you're going to do is you are going to lay down the template based on the ground in the sky. So I'm going to look at my paper plate, get it positioned like I want it, and then I'm going to lay the template on top. If you notice, for the ground, you're going to have 8 notches that you're going to have to mark and cut, and then the sky is going to have 2 notches up at the top. What I'm going to do is, with my pencil, I'm just going to go through and mark in each of those notches on my own plate, so that way I know where to cut. After you've used your template and you've marked, go ahead and count and be sure you have the right number of marks. So at the bottom, you should have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then at the top, you should have 2. 1, 2. If you have that, then you are ready to start cutting. When you get your scissors, all we're going to do is on those notches, you are going to cut the rim or the lifted part of your plate right where your pencil marks are. So I'm just going to go through If you miss your mark just a little bit, that's okay. As long as we have the right number and they're somewhat equally spaced, that's what we're looking for. I'm going to turn it around, do my sky notches. All right, after you have cut 10 total, 8 at the bottom and 2 at the top, you're going to get your warping string, which is going to be brown, and then our actual string that we're going to use for weaving is going to be green for your tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my paper plate loom over, and I'm going to use one piece of tape. As you're making your template, I'm going to be walking around to give you your tape, so that way when you're ready for string, you're ready to go. So I'm going to do is, starting at the top, I'm just going to tape my string down into place. Now, what we're going to do for this is we are going to have an enter and an exit at the sky of your plate. I like to turn my plate around when I do this step though. I think it's a little bit easier to see the enter and exit part, and then when we start weaving, we'll turn your paper plate around so that way the top of your tree is pointed. But right now, after my string's in place, I'm going to go through my left notch, which is going to be my enter notch. I'm going to bring it up to the top, and then I'm going to go through the other side. After we do that, I'm going back to the bottom. I'm going through my inner notch, and then on this step, I'm coming out the exit. So take a look right now and see, does yours look like mine? Do you have a string that goes through both notches, and then you're going through your inner and coming out the exit? After we do that, we're going up to the next notch. Now these up here, we're never going to have overlapping strings, so you're just going to put it one through each notch. At the bottom though, where we only have 2 notches, you're going to have to string those more than once. So I'm going in and around my next one. I'm coming down to my inner notch. out the exit. I'm going to keep doing that same thing. So I'm coming up to the next notch. I'll turn it so you can see it. I'm going around, not going in front of it, but around it. Coming down, enter, exit. Same thing for my last notch. I'm coming around, and then I'm going to enter that notch. After your loom is completely woven, we are going to tape down the other side of your string to get it fully in place. And rubbing it down just so it sticks. At this point, after we have our loom warped, I'm going to press down on that. If any of your weaving spots start to lift up, you can press them down to get it more secure. Now, when we start weaving, we're going to turn our plate back this way, so that way the top of your tree, these are going to be put together, and then we're going to add our stump down here at the bottom.